Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Life and Literature. My name's Emily and today I'm going to be giving my review on Looking for Alaska by John Green. If this is something you'd be interested in, then please keep on watching. Myles Horter's whole life has been one big non-event until he meets Alaska Young. Gorgeous, clever and undoubtedly screwed up, Alaska draws Myles into her reckless world and irrevocably steals his heart. For Myles, looking can never be the same again. John Green, as I've said in a previous review, has such a way of delving into a seemingly non-eventful non-eventful teenager, and how their world gets turned upside down by an undoubtedly reckless and spontaneous girl. Now, I don't know what he went through as a child, but clearly some girl has screwed him up or broken his heart, or somehow he knows the inner workings of that kind of situation very well, because he seems to bring it up in a lot of his books. Now, I feel like all of John Green's books leave me with a hole-shaped emptiness in my heart. Myles, the main character, has this fascination, which I thought was a really cool little anecdote about the character. It's so different. The fact that he has almost this obsession with people's last words, and I feel like he has that because of the impact some people's last words can just leave, and they almost leave a piece of someone behind. Now, this coming of age teen novel with a not so happy ever after is probably not the book for you if you're crazy about love and that's all you want to read about, because this isn't a love story in my opinion. It undoubtedly probably won't be the first or last time John Green intends for an unconventional love story to be shown in any other way than the characters not being unloved and the unrequited love. It seems that it's even harder to love someone broken and damaged, and it just shows the destruction that can be left behind by just unwanted admiration from people. We're shown that by Alaska, this epitome of beauty, daring spontaneity that you feel like Myles lacks, and he feels like he lacks. This is gonna lead him to fall for obviously the very unpredictable young girl, because Myles, aka Pudge, I feel like, in my opinion, his seeming love that he gets in his interactions that grow with Alaska were more awe and fascination of this kind of idealistic version he envisioned. She is destructive, complicated, and personally I think she's just a girl trying to find her way. She makes very dark, very concerning comments. She does have a boyfriend, and yet it's made to feel like Myles and Alaska are the end game. They're going to be the ones that get together, and I feel like because you're reading from Myles' perspective, he almost feels that as well. He feels like it's inevitable they're going to be in love and she's going to love him, but at no point, in my opinion, does she ever actually encourage that behaviour. I think she laps up the attention and the drama that follows, but I don't think she actually is openly saying she wants to be with him, trying to get with him or anything like that. So I just feel like Miles, I think he believes the beauty in her because he needs this great purpose. He fills himself with last words, I think, to help him understand the harsh reality that is life. I think he's envisioned her as this perfect example of just optimism and giving him again this new sense of life, this kick up the backside that he must have felt he needed to go on and have this great perhaps. But the truth is that doesn't happen from other people, it happens from yourself. You're the one that's got to make the change if you want it. It's not down to other people to do it for you. And Alaska kind of enforces that behaviour of she's not there to make anyone else's life better. It's not her responsibility. Now, in my opinion, I feel like when we lose someone we love or someone we happen to encounter with in this seemingly short life, all we can do instead of lamenting our losses is change the state of mind, change the way we think about death, depression. We all have to face someday. That the best solution for us, I suppose, just as the old saying goes, time will heal all wounds. So why not find your own way out of the labyrinth? I think, big spoiler, if you haven't read the book, I do think you need to. Again, John Green's writing is very destructive, very heart-wrenching, but it's also very smart and witty. But Alaska sadly dies, and Miles has this great feeling like she's not dead. He won't accept it because he hasn't witnessed, I guess. He can't come to the terms of reality that she is gone. She's not hiding anywhere. She's not disappeared. She's gone. And I think his grief is very interesting. Everyone deals with grief differently. I do feel John Green had a very calming way of describing death and how destructive it can be around the people around you. I think if you've lost someone that is either family, friends, partners, loved ones, even people, acquaintances, can still gut you like a fish. And even though Miles hadn't known Alaska very long, she had such a great impact on everything that he wanted to do, to be. And I think sometimes he comes across a little bit selfish, but who isn't when they're going through something? And he doesn't realise sometimes the people around him, the friends also she had, they'd known her a lot longer, they had been with her through a lot more. And I'm not saying or taken away from Miles's experiences or Miles' hurt, but he was kind of oblivious at some points, which was a bit hard to read because it's the truth. I think if you've gone through it, you'll know, and if you haven't, then it might come and you're okay to deal with it however way you seem fit. And this darkness that John Green knows how to express is very captivating. It did leave me empty a little bit at the end because you were hoping in the end with Miles. You're hoping it's a story, of course she's going to be alive, she's going to be somewhere. And that's what we all kind of hope when someone passes, is that they're just going to walk through the door and it's going to be like it never happened. But we've all got hope. We can always find people that will be our strength sometimes and be our reason. And I feel like looking for Alaska, whether it's dark in places or not, and whether you like it or hate it, I do think it is very important to always remember. And I feel like John Green put it in such a good way that I feel like, especially targeted to more of a younger audience, that young adults reading it who maybe haven't gone through grief yet are already shown that everyone's going to deal with it differently, and there's no right or wrong way to deal with it, just as long as you try and get out of the labyrinth. Grief never fully goes away, and Looking for Alaska is just another indication of that. You don't learn to get over it, you just learn to live with it, and every day it will get a little bit easier. So I think Looking for Alaska, it is such a good read. I really enjoyed reading it. I do think that Miles can be a bit annoying at some points. It would be quite interesting, and even if you could really read from Alaska and just see some of the intertwinings of her brain. I did think as well it's counting up to something, and then it's counting down to something, saying how many days before, and then you have the after. I thought that was really interesting, because all the way up you're leading to this unknown, and then when it happens you're reading the days after. And I feel like with something, when someone passes close to you, you obviously can't count the days before, but you definitely count the days after. So I thought that was quite a nice little nod to keep in mind there's an element of time, there is an element of things happening leading up to something, so you're constantly preparing yourself. And I wasn't expecting her to die. I wasn't expecting her to go and that to be it for her story. I feel like there could have been so much more. I feel like it could have been so much more. He doesn't do series, I don't think, but God, if he did, I think Alaska is a great character to do a series on, if he did. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, then please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.